there's just such a sense of glory and beauty, huh? It fills the room when Mark sings. Thank you so much. So I would invite you to take a deep, deep breath. And just allow yourself to know that you inhaled the very essence of the universe. You inhaled God. And you exhaled God. Because that's all there is. That is all there is. So the title of my talk today is that searching for life in the universe is like fish searching for water. We go for looking for spirit. We go for looking for the divine. We go for looking for the essence, when all we have to do is just breathe it in and know that that's all there is. Ernest Holmes says the highest good and the innermost good is the one God. So, Science of Mind, in our book that Ernest Holmes wrote, originally he says the entire manifestation of spirit, both visible and invisible, is the body of God. There is one body of the universe. Within this one body is included all lesser bodies. The entire manifestation of spirit, both visible and invisible, is the body of God. It includes every graduation of consciousness, from the simple to the complex, from a cell to an archangel. It is the entire manifestation of spirit on any and all planes. Body is the definite outline of flesh containing all of the ideas which go to make the complete physical instrument. He continues, it is necessary that spirit should manifest in some kind of form in order that it may come into self-expression through self-realization. This is the meaning of that creation which is eternally going on. Form is always effect, never cause. Form is always effect, never cause. Everything we see is an effect of the consciousness of the divine. Everything we see is an effect of our own consciousness. He continues, creation is the logical result of the outpush of life into self-expression. It is the coming forth of spirit into manifestation. The one encompasses and flows through all, spilling itself into the numberless forms and personalities. These forms and personalities, propelled by the cosmic urge which brings them into being, have within themselves an impulse planted by the divine. And since the divine is limitless and perfect, it must and ultimately will bring all creation into a state of perfect manifestation. In the Holmes Readers, Ernest says, there is a great difference between saying, I am God, and saying, God is me. Ice is water. All ice is some water, but not all water is ice. So we might say of the life of humanity, all of our life is some of the life of God. Some of the life of God is all of our life, but we are not all of the life of God. Whatever my life is, it is God. There is no difference between my life and God in essence. The difference is in degree. Every one of us, in turning to the great inner life, is turning to God. And yet, an individual is never all of God. Panentheism, which means all is God, is a belief system which postulates the divine, whether as a single God, number of gods, or other form of cosmic animating force, interdependent penetrates every part of the universe and extends timelessly and presumably spacelessly beyond it. This means that all creation, all life, all beings, whether plant, animal, or human, are part of the whole body of God. Every part of creation is a vehicle for the infinite one to experience itself. No life or being is left out. Imagine if there were only roses in our garden. This could not express all the ways that life would be itself as a flower, express flowerness. So we have iris, pansies, wisteria, etc., etc. Now multiply that by all the types of plants, and then add all the types of animals and humans, and then add all of the minerals and planets, and even space. Still, this is not enough to fully express every bit of the infinite. Each one is unique, precious, and ever so necessary to the whole. A fellow named Dwayne Elgin wrote an article called An Evolutionary Bounce. And in that article, he tells us one possible way to rescue our world from impending crash is a shift from the shared view of the universe. From thinking of the universe as dead to experiencing it as alive. In regarding the universe as alive and ourselves as continuously sustained within that aliveness, we see that we are intimately related to everything that exists. We are intimately related to everything that exists. This startling insight that we are cousins to everything that exists in a living, continuously regenerated universe represents a new way of looking at and relating to the world, and overcomes the profound separation that has marked our lives. From a combined wisdom of science and spirituality, there is now emerging an understanding that could provide the perceptual foundation for the diverse people of the world to come together in a shared enterprise of building a sustainable and meaningful future. We are now living in a time when humanity's perceptual paradigm is undergoing one of its rare shifts, and that shift has the potential to dramatically transform life for each one of us. A paradigm shift, therefore, goes to the core of people's lives. It is much more than a change in ideas and how we think. It is a change in our view of reality, identity, social relationships, and human purpose. A paradigm shift can be felt in the body, heart, mind, and soul. A new paradigm that is emerging represents a convergence of insights from modern science and the world's spiritual traditions. At the heart of the new paradigm is the startling idea that our cosmos is not a fragmented and lifeless machine, as has been believed for centuries, but is instead a unified and living organism. Although there's no clear agreement among scientists as to what constitutes a living system, it seems reasonable that if our cosmos is alive, it would exhibit specific properties that are characteristic of all life, such as being a unified entity, having some form of consciousness, and being able to reproduce itself. These are among the properties of our universe that are emerging from modern science. The theoretical physicist David Bohm saw animate and inanimate matter as inseparably interwoven with the life force that is present throughout the universe. And that includes not only matter, but also energy and seemingly empty space. For Bohm, even a rock has a unique form of aliveness. Life is dramatically flowing through the fabric of the entire universe. Scientists and spiritual seekers alike ask the question, if this is a unified system, then could all this be a single cell within a much greater organism? It utterly overwhelms the imagination to consider the size and complexity of our cosmos, with billions of galaxies, trillions of planetary systems, all partaking in a continuous flow of creation. How can it be so vast, so subtle, so precise, and so powerful? The new physics allows us to see everything in the cosmos as a flowing movement that co-arises along with everything else, moment by moment, in a process of continuous regeneration. If all is in motion at every level, and all motion presents itself as a coherent and stable pattern, then all that exists is profoundly orchestrated. All flows comprise one grand symphony in which we are all players, a single creative expression, a universe, meaning one. A living universe is a learning system in which we are free to make mistakes and change our minds. In other words, if the universe is being continuously recreated, then each moment provides an opportunity for a fresh start. Philosopher Rene Weber describes the creative and experimental nature of the universe. Through us, the universe questions itself and tries out various answers on itself in an effort, parallel to its own, to decipher its own being. Every moment, the universe recreates itself and provides us with an opportunity to exercise our basic freedom to do the same. The universe gives us an opportunity to recreate ourselves at every second, every moment. The physicist Freeman Dyson thinks it is reasonable to believe in the existence of a mental competency of the universe. He says, if we believe in this mental component of the universe, then we can say that we are small pieces of God's mental apparatus. Our universe is a living system of elegant design that was born from and is continuously regenerated with an even greater universe. We're living within a daughter universe that for 12 billion years has been living and growing within the spaciousness of Mother Universe. The Mother Universe has existed forever, holding countless daughter universes in its grand embrace while they grow and mature enough in an eternity of time. More than 20 centuries ago, the Taoist sage Lao Tzu described it this way: there was something formless and perfect before the universe was born. It is serene, empty, solitary, unchanging, infinite, eternally present. It is the mother of the universe. For lack of a better name, I call it the Tao. Regardless of what the mother universe is called, all wisdom traditions agree that it is ultimately beyond description. Nevertheless, many attempts have been made to describe her paradoxical qualities. Here are 6 of the key attributes of Mother Universe as seen by both the East and the West. Mother Universe is present everywhere. The clear, unbounded life energy of Mother Universe is present in all material forms, as well as seemingly empty space. Mother Universe is not separate from us, nor is it other than the ordinary reality that continuously presents around us. Mother Universe also is not limited to containing only our universe. There are likely vast numbers of other universes growing in other dimensions of her unimaginable spaciousness. Mother Universe is non-obstructing. Mother Universe is a living presence out of which all things emerge, but is not itself filled or limited by these things. Not only are things in it, it is in all things. She is also utterly impartial. She allows all things to be exactly what they are without interference. We have immense freedom to create either suffering or joy. Ultimately, she is ungraspable. The power and reach of the Mother Universe is so vast that it cannot be grasped by our thinking mind. As the source of our existence, the Mother Universe is forever beyond the ability of our limited mental facilities to capture conceptually. We just can't get her. She is boundlessly compassionate in her essence. To experience the subtle and refined resonance of the Mother Universe is to experience unconditional love. She is also profoundly creative. Because we humans do not know how to create a single flower or a cubic inch of space, the creative power of the Mother Universe is to bring into existence and sustain entire cosmic systems. It is utterly incomprehensible. The poet and philosopher Wayne Mueller wrote, "Creation, then, is an ongoing story of new beginnings, opportunities to begin again and again. God began to create, is still creating, nothing is finished." The Lakota tradition says, because everything is an expression of the Great Spirit, everything deserves to be treated with respect. Humans have the capacity to know that we know. In this new paradigm, our sense of identity takes on a paradoxical and mysterious quality. We are both observer and observed, knower, and that which is known. We are each completely unique, yet completely connected with the entire universe. There will never be another person like any one of us in all of eternity. So we are absolutely original beings. At the same time, since our existence arises from and is woven into the deep ecology of the universe, we are completely integrated with all that exists. Awakening to the miraculous nature of our identity as simultaneously unique and interconnected with a living universe can help us overcome the species arrogance and sense of separation that threatens our future. If life is nested within life, like the German Matryoshka dolls, then it is only fitting that we treat everything that exists as alive and worthy of respect. Sri Aurobindo states that creation is for the delight of God. Creation is for the delight of God. Are we delighting in creation with our endless polluting of the earth, lack of concern for the extinction of species, heedless our part in the climate change? Are we delighting in creation, in the joy of the sensual pleasures, the beauty of nature, the love of our pets, and the care of our own bodies? One might extrapolate that science of mind supports the care and concern for the earth and all its inhabitants. Following Jesus' teaching, what you do to the least of these, you do to me. Since it's all part of the one wholeness that is God, whatever we do to creation, to life, to our beings, we are essentially doing to ourselves. This is so exciting to me to think that the universe is continuing to expand, to change and to grow. And somebody said to me one time, well, how can the universe be whole, perfect, and complete if it's continuing to change, expand, and to grow? And I think of it as the same as a child who is born into this world. That child is whole, perfect, and complete. And yet, as it grows and expands and changes, it continues to be whole, perfect, and complete. And that's how our universe is. It's evolving. And we have only just the minuscule scratch of understanding of the vastness and the glory of that universe. We get to choose on any moment, at any given time, to make a change. And the universe does also. And there's multi-facets to it. Now Jesus said, my master heaven has many mansions. And that's the truth. We only understand a limited place in time and space of the potential of the divine that I believe to be the universe itself. So whatever language we call God, whether we call it the universe, whether we call it the creative force or source, whatever name we give it, the Tao, that's God. And that is exactly who and what we are. So I would invite you once more to take a deep breath with the conscious awareness that you are breathing in that is the divine. And be consciously aware that while you are not all that it is, all that you are is it. And we can create our lives from that powerful place of knowing our essence is divine. And choose to live from that space of glory, that space of divinity. And making sure and certain that every choice that we make is made from that highest level of understanding. And when we do that, as individuals, as a community, as a culture and a society, then we must respect each other. We must respect the divine and the earth that we are given to live in. It cannot be otherwise. When we understand that deeply, on a visceral level, when we recognize that what we breathe in is the godness of all things, then our action must follow from a more noble, a more ethical, a more loving point of view. So as I breathe in, I become very aware that I am exchanging God with you. I'm breathing in the essence of your spiritual being and the spiritual being of all. And it is humbling. So with deep respect, I now say to you, the God in me recognizes the God in you. And I say with deep respect, Namaste.
Namaste.
I invite the practitioners to stand and join with me as we hold the sacred space of this community. So once more, I invite you to take a deep breath, the breath of God that literally is myself to stand in the awareness that as the universe is always at choice, creating, I too am always at choice. I stand in choice to create a life that is filled with love, rich creativity, and great joy. I stand at choice to give God a good time, to celebrate the essence of all that is, to be a steward of my life, to be a steward of the earth, and the love that is my divine heritage, my divine essence. As this is true for me, I absolutely know it is true for you also. You are the breath of God. And the vastness of you, the vastness of your being, the vastness of your potential defies my understanding. And yet I know it is true. I permit myself to live expansively, and I invite you to do the same. To agree with yourself to live without boundaries, without limiting beliefs. To celebrate the truth of your being, knowing that you are, at this moment, whole, perfect, and complete. And with the next breath, the next moment, you are growing and expanding into something that is more perfect, more whole, more complete. It cannot be otherwise. You are God. And I bow before you with all of respect for your sacred nature. And I invite you to own that with me as we declare the truth, as we say together. And
so it is.